Have you ever felt more energized during a full moon or more intuitive during a new moon? What if I told you you can align your journaling practice with the lunar cycle, the moon phases, in order to tap into your intuition, set clearer, powerful intentions, and let go of what no longer serves you? Hi, I'm Neha, mindfulness and journaling coach and expert. Welcome to Journal 101. Today, we're going to be talking about how you could use lunar journaling in an incredible way to connect the moon's energy and your own emotions. Grab a journal, a pen, and find a cozy spot, and let's explore how you could use the moon's energy to gain clarity, set your goals, and deepen your intuition. Before I forget, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you could be alerted in the future when I put out these videos. So the moon has for a long time been associated with emotions, intuition, cycle of energy. But by tracking and journaling with the lunar cycle itself, you can actually enhance your self-reflection by noticing patterns within your mood and your thoughts, set intentions more effectively by working with the moon's energy itself, and release emotional block, something that might be holding you back. The best part is you don't have to be an astrologer or a moon expert to get started. All you really need is a journal and an open mind. There's plenty of apps and websites out there that can help you track the lunar calendar. Most diaries these days actually do let you know when there's a full moon, new moon, etc. So it's quite easy to keep track of it. So there are 4 phases of the moon, and there's different things that you could journal about during these phases. Of course, you could use moon journaling or lunar journaling on its own and just do that, or you could use it as part of your daily routine and add an extra moment for the 4 different phases. I'll go through the 4 different phases and then we'll discuss how you could use these. So phase 1 is the new moon. It's a time for new beginnings. Usually a new moon night is also classed as a no moon night. So it's when there's no moon visible in the sky. It's a time for a fresh start, just like a blank page on a journal. It's the perfect time to set intentions, to plant seeds for new projects, and to visualize what it is you actually want to manifest. So my favorite journal prompts for a new moon are: what do I want to invite into my life this new moon? What personal habits and goals do I want to nurture? And what is that one step I could take towards my goal or dreams? The second phase of the moon cycle is known as the first quarter moon, and this is the stage of the moon where you want to take action. So this is usually about a week after a new moon, where it's basically half of a full moon out in the sky, and the energy kind of shifts at this point. It's about momentum at this time of the cycle, taking action on your intentions and overcoming any sort of challenges you have facing you. So again, my 3 favorite prompts for this part of the lunar cycle: what is that one small action I can take that would move me closer to my goal? What obstacles am I currently facing and how can I actually navigate them? How can I stay motivated and committed to my intentions? Like any other journal prompt that I suggest, these ones are obviously ways to start. You start answering the question and the ideas just come to you because obviously you're tapping into the lunar energy. You're able to answer these questions by asking the right questions. The third stage of the lunar cycle is known as the full moon. It's when obviously there's a full moon in the sky. And this is a time to release and reflect. It's the peak of the cycle. It's where the energy is the strongest. So not only does it actually brighten up the sky, but it actually sheds light onto everything for you as well. It helps you kind of see things a lot clearer. It's a brilliant time for gratitude, self-reflection, and then releasing what no longer serves you. So my favorite journal prompts for a full moon are: what am I actually grateful for at this moment in time? What limiting beliefs or negative patterns do I actually need to release? What emotions have surfaced recently? And what are they actually teaching me? During a full moon, if you want to go a step further, you can actually perform what is known as a new moon ritual. And it's quite simple. You basically, rather than obviously writing in your journal, you write it on a piece of paper that you don't mind tearing up, and you basically write down at least one thing that you want to let go of. So it can be a bad experience that you've had that week or that month, something that just didn't go to plan, something that's weighing down on you still. So you might have a negative thought, not related to right now, but in the past, that is actually holding you back from achieving your future goals. So anything that you want to let go of. So for example, I want to let go of an anger that I'm holding from, last year or last month, or my boss is not supportive, which is holding me back from achieving my goals at work. That sort of stuff, just something you want to release, write it down on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be one thing, can be several things. Write them down on a piece of paper and either burn them safely, ideally outside, or just tear them up. It's a way to physically release the negative energy that's holding you back. And then the final stage of the moon is known as the last quarter moon. And that's a time to rest and reflect. So imagine it as though it's a full moon. Now the moon is winding down to then become a new moon again. So just like that, you want to kind of wind down as well and relax and then be able to reflect on yourself. It's time for you to slow down, reflect, and prepare for the next cycle. This is a brilliant time for some self-care, some deep inner work. And then the best journal prompts for this time of the cycle is, what lessons did I learn during this lunar cycle? What habits and thoughts do I need to leave behind in this current cycle and not take it with me into the next one? And then how can I nurture myself before the next lunar cycle? So now that you obviously know how you can use the lunar energy in journaling and tap into it, a few little tips on how you can actually start your lunar journaling practice. This shouldn't take a long time, a couple of minutes per stage of the cycle. But if you want to use it as part of your evening routine or your normal journaling routine, feel free to do that. But you could also use it as a standalone routine as well. Obviously, you need to be able to track the moon phases. On a clear day, it's quite easy just by checking outside, but there's lots of apps and websites out there that can do that for you. Decide how you want to practice it. Obviously, you can play with different ideas. You could only do it during those phases, or you could put it into your normal routine. But if it's new for you, maybe that's the best way to practice it. Just pick those key dates and practice on those days. When you do decide to write into your lunar journal or your journal itself, pick a sacred place. And in that place, ideally maybe where you can see the moon if it's outside, or you can at least see out into your garden or your front garden. But light a candle just to get into that sense of relaxation. If you want, make yourself a hot cup of tea or coffee and create a small ritual that helps you relax before you get into journaling. So for me, that is meditating for a couple of minutes. It could just be a simple breathing practice that you do for a couple of minutes, anything that just calms your mind before you start writing. Normally with journal entries, we don't go back and see what has happened and changes for a while, but obviously because the lunar cycle is pretty much 28 days, what we do recommend is before you start your next entry, look back at your last entries for that lunar cycle. So you can see exactly what your goals were at the start of the lunar cycle and where you are now, and kind of see what changes you need to make to achieve those goals. Journaling with the moon energy is a brilliant way to sync your inner energy with the natural cycle of life. So if you've never tried it before, I highly encourage trying it with the next new moon. But of course, if you want to deep dive further into lunar journaling and how to use the lunar energy, my 8-week transformation program has a whole entire module just focused on lunar energy and lunar journaling. I'll put the link below for you so you can tap into it and have a look. But feel free to drop me a message on social media and I could give you more information if you wanted to. Do let me know in the comments if you are going to try lunar journaling or if you've tried it before and it's something that you're keen to try again. So until next time, keep writing, keep reflecting, happy journaling.